Hello students, welcome to BioSmart Academy YouTube channel. In today's lecture, we will continue our lecture series on structure of proteins. Okay, in our first lecture, we discuss about the protein primary structure and about the basic introduction of the structure of protein. And in today's lecture, we will start protein secondary structure. Okay, and in protein secondary structure we start with alpha helix. Okay, and this is a part 1 of the lecture of the alpha helix, part 1 of the lecture of alpha helix. Okay, so first of all, in today's lecture, we discuss about the basic introduction about the secondary structure. That what do you mean by secondary structure of protein? Okay, then we start alpha helix and we discuss some points, important points about the alpha helix in today's lecture. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. First of all, we should discuss that what do you mean by protein secondary structure. Okay, so basically, if we write the protein secondary structure, okay, protein secondary structure, so what does this protein secondary structure means? So basically the protein secondary structures is basically refers to any segment of polypeptide chain. Suppose this is a polypeptide chain and it is basically any segment of the polypeptide chain. Suppose here this is a alpha helix, okay, and this is the beta sheet, okay, like this. So it may be any chosen segment of the polypeptide chain, and the protein secondary structure basically described, just note it down, it described the arrangement, of its main chain atom, of its main chain atom, arrangement of its main chain atom. Clear? So it basically describes the arrangement of its main chain atom without regard the positioning of its side chain. Okay, without regard the positioning, without regard the positioning of side chain, positioning of side chain, atom. Clear? So this is basically the proper definition of the secondary structure. So basically it can be any segment of the polypeptide chain where it can basically going to form alpha helix or beta conformation or beta turns, etc. And here in secondary structure you will find the arrangement of the main chain atoms, okay, without regard the positioning of the side chain atoms. Okay, here you cannot define the side chain atoms that is basically linked. Okay, the side chain atoms are linked in case of tertiary structure. So basically this is the proper definition of the secondary structure. Here the arrangement of the main chain atoms is takes place. Okay, so this is a basic definition of the secondary structure. Okay, now another thing that you should note down is that a regular secondary structure is occur, okay, so when a regular secondary structure is occur, so a regular secondary structure is occur when, so a regular secondary structure is occur when the dihedral angle, that is the angle phi and psi. I will discuss about the basically I already discussed about the dihedral angle in Ramachandran plot. You can search it on the biochemistry playlist, you easily find there. Okay, so a regular secondary structure occurs when the dihedral angle, that is the phi and the psi angle, remain same. It remain same. It remains same throughout the segment. Clear? Throughout the segment. And there are few types of secondary structure that are basically stable and occur widely in protein. Okay, that are stable and occur widely in protein. So example of those secondary structure that are basically a regular type of secondary structure and those basically occur widely in protein are alpha helix, beta conformation, and beta turns. Okay, so in today's lecture we will deal with the alpha helix, some part of the alpha helix. Okay, so this is a basically about the regular secondary structure. So here the phi and psi angle will remain same throughout the polypeptide segment. Okay, and these are those secondary structure, that is alpha helix, beta conformation and beta turns, which occur widely in proteins and which are basically more common type. Okay, so it is another concept regarding secondary structure. Okay, now another thing that you should know about the secondary structure is about the random coil. Okay, so what is basically random coil? So basically in those where regular pattern is not found, okay, in those protein, just note it down, in those where regular pattern is not found, where regular pattern is not found, where regular pattern is not found, this type of secondary structure is referred as random coil. This type of secondary structure is random coil. So this is the definition of random coil. So in case of random coil, you will not going to find the regular pattern. Okay, you will not going to find out the regular pattern, as in case of alpha helix, beta sheet, that is beta conformation, the total beta conformation and beta turns. There you easily find out the regular pattern, but in case of random coil, you will not going to find out the regular pattern. Okay, so this is about the random coil. Okay, so students, till now we discuss about the protein secondary structure. That what do you mean by secondary structure of protein? What are regular secondary structure of protein? Which secondary structure of protein are found mostly in proteins and which are mostly stable? And what do you mean by random coil? That is where regular pattern is not found. So we discuss all these things till now. I hope you understand all these things, and please note down all these things. Okay, now we will going to start alpha helix. Okay, so what do you mean by alpha helix? First of all, you should know the proper definition of the alpha helix. Then we will continue. Okay, in today's lecture, we will discuss some part of the alpha helix. Okay, so first of all, what do you mean by alpha helix? Scientists Pauling and Corey basically in 1948 discovered alpha helix. So basically, alpha helix is basically a coiled structure, that is basically a twisted structure into helical formation. It forms a helix, that is alpha helix, that is there is something related to helix. So what do you mean by alpha helix? I just write down the first alpha helix. So what do you mean by alpha helix? See, so alpha helix is basically a rod like structure. Suppose this is a rod like structure. Clear? And this forms when a polypeptide chain twists into helical formation, and a helical is formed here like this. Like this. So alpha helix is basically a rod like structure, and a helix is basically twist around this rod. So this is the structure of the alpha helix that was basically given by Corey and Pauling. Till now you got a clear idea? Now, alpha helix can be right-handed alpha helix. Can be right-handed alpha helix. Right-handed means it basically rotate, or the helical twist is basically twist in clockwise direction, or it can be left-handed alpha helix. Left-handed means in counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction the helical twist is takes place. Okay, so basically when scientists is basically studied many types of protein structures, they study many protein structures, and for example one of them is myoglobin. Then they find out that the right-handed alpha helix is more common, or you can say that it is thermodynamically more stable or energetically more stable. energetically more favorable. So why the right-handed alpha helix energetically more favorable? Because when scientists studies many proteins, for example myoglobin and many other protein, then they find out that in almost all proteins, this helical twist that is occur, basically occur in a rod-like rigid structure is basically right-handed. This helical twist of the alpha helix is basically right-handed. That's why the right-handed alpha helix is energetically more favorable as compared to left-handed alpha helix. Clear? Now I hope that you got a clear idea till now. Okay. Now we now move to next part. Okay. See. This is alpha helix. Clear? Okay. Now if we zoom out this part, suppose we zoom this part. Okay, we zoom one turn, okay, we zoom one turn and we find out like this. Okay, we just zoom it. Okay, now so if we measure the length of this one turn, that is known as pitch, so the length of this one turn is about 5.4 angstrom. Clear? Or you can say 0.54 nanometer. You can say anyone, either 5.4 angstrom or 0.54 nanometer. Okay, 5.4 angstrom or either 0.54 nanometer. Okay, so the one turn, the length of the one turn is about 5.4 angstrom or 0.54 nanometer. This is known as pitch. Okay, and in this one turn of the alpha helix, there are 3.6 amino acids are present. How many amino acids? 3.6 amino acid per turn. Clear? So 3.6 amino acid per turns is present in alpha helix. Okay, so here the length of one amino acid is what? So here the length of one amino acid will be 5.4 angstrom by 3.6. We divide the total length with the number of amino acid per turn. That is, we got the answer 1.5 angstrom. Clear? I hope student till now you got a clear idea. Okay. Now, if we summarize this, then we will find out that in alpha helix, what we have seen till now in alpha helix, length of the one turn, that is the length of turns, you can say. Okay, length of turn is about 5.4 angstrom. Clear? Number of amino acid per turn, we find out what? Number of amino acid per turn, we find out 3.6 amino acids. And the length of one amino acid, what? Length of one amino acid is 1.5 angstrom. Clear? So students, you have to remember these three things. Okay, because these three things are important for your numerical perspective. Okay, so what are these three things? That in case of alpha helix, the length of one turn will be 5.4 angstrom. The number of amino acid per turn will be 3.6 amino acids, and the length of one amino acid, that is 1.5 angstrom. Okay, so till now you get a clear idea about the alpha helix. Okay, another important thing is that just note it down that why alpha helix can easily rotate. That is, if I draw a extended polypeptide chain, this is the primary structure of protein, and if this primary structure of protein is folded into a alpha helix, so how a primary structure of protein is folded into a helix? Okay, because if you see the primary structure of protein, it is an extended chain. Okay, in primary structure of protein, it is this is a primary structure. Okay, primary structure of protein, and this is a alpha helix, that is it fold into one of the secondary structure, that is alpha helix. Okay, and this is the primary structure of protein. Okay, so how it fold into alpha helix? So this fold is possible, due to the phi and the psi angle. Okay, due to the phi and psi angle that is present in amino acids. Okay, that is present in amino acid. Due to this phi and psi angle that is present in the amino acid of the primary structure of protein, it can easily fold up into alpha helix, that is the secondary structure of protein. So that's why it can easily fold. Okay, clear? And the detail of this phi and psi angle I already discussed in the Ramachandran plot. I hope that if you watch that lecture, you get the clear idea. You can easily find out that lecture in our biochemistry playlist. Okay, so till now I hope that you get a clear idea about the alpha helix. Okay, another important thing that I going to discuss in today's lecture, and this will be the last thing that I will going to discuss in today's lecture about the alpha helix, is that in alpha helix the first 4 NH. So if we draw, just look at the structure. Okay, so this is a structure of alpha helix, this is a structure of alpha helix. Okay, all these things I already discussed. Okay, so if you see the first 4 in alpha helix, the first 4 NH, while the last 4 CO, suppose this is last 4 CO. Okay, so the first 4 NH and the last 4 CO, clear? These first 4 NH and last 4 CO are free. Free means what? That is, they are not undergo any type of bonding. That is, they are not undergo any type of bonding. That is, they are not participate. They are not participate in helical pattern of H bond. In helical, just note it down. In helical pattern of hydrogen bond. Clear? Remember these things. That is, the first 4 NH of the amino terminal and the last 4 CO of this carboxyl terminal are not participate in hydrogen bonding. That is the helical pattern of the hydrogen bonding in case of alpha helix. Okay, remember this thing. So what happened to this first 4 NH and last 4 CO? So basically they may be exposed to the surrounding solvent. Okay, so they may be exposed to the, just I write down here. Okay, that is, they may be exposed to surrounding solvent. They may be exposed to surrounding solvent. They may be exposed to surrounding solvent or other parts of the protein where they basically hydrogen bonded with water. So basically, in gist, if I basically say that the first 4 NH of the aminous terminus and the last 4 CO of the carboxy terminus in case of alpha helix is not going to participate in helical pattern of the hydrogen bonded. So what happened to them? They basically exposed to the surrounding solvent, and in that surrounding solvent they basically form hydrogen bonded with water. Okay, or the other possibility is that they may be bind with any other protein where they basically form the hydrogen bonding pattern. So this is the concept regarding the alpha helix. Okay, so I hope student that till now you get a clear idea regarding the alpha helix. Okay, in our next lecture we will discuss some important and major points of the alpha helix. That is, we will discuss some important question, that is, why alpha helix more readily form than any other possible conformations, and what are the factors that affect the stability of the alpha helix. This is very important, okay, from your examination, from your interview perspective. So we will discuss these two important things in our next lecture, as well as we discuss one numerical. Okay, so students, I hope that today you like this lecture. Okay, I hope that if you like this lecture, you will share with your friends. We will here provide you free online lectures on YouTube for CSI and NET examination. If you watch all this lecture, then you will definitely going to crack CSIR. Please follow our lectures. We already uploaded many lectures on our YouTube channel. Okay, if you like the lecture, please subscribe. Thank you.